So you've probably heard of virtualization, whether it's on one of Linus's many gamers, one CPU videos, or maybe just from an IT guy at work. But if you're not too sure what that is, or how to set one up, or even just a full-on PC for virtual machines, then this video should hopefully help you out. So what is virtualization then? Well, when you're normally setting up a PC, you normally install your operating system, like Windows, directly onto the PC, so that when the PC boots up, the first thing that it does is load up Windows and then loads up any of your extra software that you've installed onto Windows. That's often known as bare metal because your operating system has direct access to your hardware with no other software in between. Virtualization adds at least one more layer in the way there, as it emulates what's known as the guest operating system, or essentially the operating system you're trying to install inside the VM. Now, I said at least one more layer there because there's actually two different ways that you can run a VM. You can either do it on top of your existing operating system with software like Virtualbox, or you can install what's known as a hypervisor, or a sort of level 1 or bare metal hypervisor instead of your base operating system, and then run your VMs from that instead. An example of this would be VMware's ESXi or the open source Zen. Now, if you just want to toy around with virtual machines and kind of get yourself started and get yourself accustomed to the world, because it is a bit different than what you might be used to, then something like Virtualbox, if you're using Windows, is a fantastic place to start. It runs on top of your existing operating system. It's just a program that you download and install. It's super easy to set up. It's really easy to set up a VM, and also really simple to be able to control the VM as well, so a great place to start. I'd recommend this if not only you just want to tinker about, but also if you just say want a bit of a safer way to download some programs that look a little bit sketchy and may have some viruses kind of built in. That's a great place to download stuff, install it, see if it works, see if there is a whole load of viruses that come with it or not. And also if you just want to do all of your, say, pirating in a bit of a safer place, then that's where I'd recommend. If, however, you're a bit more familiar with virtual machines and hypervisors, and you want to do a bit more with virtual machines, like say run multiple operating systems from a single PC, then a bare metal or a level 1 hypervisor like ESXi or Zen is where I would head. Now, I personally have ESXi installed, although I wouldn't really recommend it as it's not actually properly free. It seems like a bit of a grey area and is generally made for server hardware, not for your general consumer hardware. If I was going to recommend a bare metal hypervisor to you, it would be Zen because it's free and open source, and in theory should be a lot easier and simpler to use and install than ESXi, since it is made for more consumer hardware rather than server platforms. But since I already have ESXi installed, let's give you a quick tour and kind of show you what I've got set up. So I have two VMs running. I have a FreeNAS VM that handles the two Seagate Ironwolf 4TB drives in a ZFS mirrored volume that's shared across the network. And then I also have an Ubuntu VM that's running, which is effectively just a sort of Ubuntu server that runs stuff like web development and testing, and also a few web bots too. This is really handy for me as it lets me run multiple operating systems from one PC and lets me make better use of the hardware that's already going to be powered on anyway. I would mention that the number of virtual machines that you can run on one system will vary depending on the hardware you have and what you want to do with each of the VMs, as especially if you're doing stuff like hardware pass-through for stuff like graphics cards, then it can often require you to assign a minimum number or even a maximum number of CPU cores and memory that it has to allocate to that VM, which can limit the amount of free sort of resources available for other VMs. I won't go too far into pass-through here because it's really a whole can of worms and is almost a bit too far out of the scope of this video, and people like Wendo from Level on Text can do a much better job of explaining it than I can. But suffice to say, pass-through lets you pass either whole devices or even sometimes just connected devices into a VM so that the VM can have access to those devices. An example of this is GPU pass-through, where you can benefit from stuff like hardware acceleration or even be able to play full games inside your VM with the GPU pass-through. This can be a massive pain, and if you're looking for advice on stuff like IO-MMU groups and SR-IOV pass-through, then as I said, people like Wendo from Level on Text are a great resource to go and check out. But for this video, since it's a bit more about beginners, I'm going to leave it it there. So that pretty much rounds up the basics of virtualization, gives you an idea of what the different types of hypervisors are and what the use cases for each might be, and a bit of a tour around a couple of them. With that said, if you do have any questions, then feel free to leave those in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you if and when I can answer your questions. As always, if you want to support the channel and keep me making these videos on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday basis, then make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell notification icon, and you check out the links in the description down below too. There's Amazon and Overclockers UK affiliate links, which don't cost you anything to use, but massively help me out when you do buy from those places, and there's also stuff like Patreon if you want to get cool rewards and support the channel directly too, or there's links to private internet access, which is a great and cheap VPN, Humble Bundle for cheap games that support charities too, or even stuff like Streamlabs if you want to start streaming with some rather nice streaming software, and there's also merch down there too, which I don't actually have on today. Either way, that is pretty much it. You can check out some other videos over there if you want to keep watching and check out maybe more videos on the sort of Tech Explained series, but otherwise that is pretty much it. If you enjoyed it, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and we'll see you all in the next video.